Blog Talk Radio.
Paranormal Review Radio.
Hey everyone, it's Friday night and you know what that means. It's Paranormal Review Radio Night with your host from New York City, Anthony Agati.
And me, Lucy Liebfried from Chicago.
You know, the world is full of bad news lately and the stresses of the work week has just ended. So why not tune into our show on Friday nights to unwind, remove the crap the world has put on our shoulders, and relax with some informative, eye-opening, and fun stories about the world of paranormal. Aren't you sick of talking to the living? Come on over and talk to the dead here on our channel. Don't worry, they're not going to argue with you here.
That's right, Anthony. Yes, we have the cure for what ails you. We're going to have some fun tonight. Our phone lines are open, so give us a call. Our show number is 661-244-9831. You will want to call in tonight. The phone lines are open for the entire show, so join the conversation. And if you don't feel like calling in, our chat room is open, so post your comments, questions, or feel free to discuss with other members. Don't forget, we have a Facebook page, Paranormal Review Radio. Stop by and visit to learn more about tonight's show. Anthony, what are we talking about tonight?
At the beginning of civilization, man invented the alphabet and the written word. You know, the early writing systems did not have numbers, so letters were assigned to represent numbers. This type of association of numbers with words and meanings is the basis of ancient numerology. Tonight we have with us Miss Cheryl Patton, a highly acclaimed numerologist, teacher, author, healer. She has written several books such as Creating the Perfect House Vibration, Utilizing the Art of Numerology, and also You're Lucky, You'll Forget, and Beginning Numerology, Discovering the Vibrations of Your Life. Cheryl is also a fellow radio talk show host right here on Blog Talk Radio called One Woman's Wisdom. And she is here tonight to discuss numerology and how it can help your life, and later on, she will also give free readings to callers, so make sure you call in. I'll be checking the call log to take down your name and place you in the queue. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Cheryl Patton.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you guys tonight?
We're fine. How are you, dear?
We're great.
Great. It is beautiful down here in the Blue Ridge. I have a huge moon outside my window, but I hear that it is supposed to be even bigger yet tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the supermoon.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's an honor to have you here, and especially to talk about numerology. It's something that everyone seems to be interested in, but for some reason everybody doesn't really seem to know a whole lot about it. And so we figured, Why not go to an expert, and you can't get more expert than you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, you know what? I'd like to start out for someone who really doesn't know, what is numerology?
Well, numerology is an ancient belief system that says that everything in the universe vibrates with a mathematical vibration, such as your name, where you live, the house you live in, even your bank account. If we add up all those numbers on your bank account, they stand for something. And so, I just had a funny sound in my ear, I'm sorry. But everything that we have that comes to us is something that we can change into a mathematical vibration, and then we look at it and say, what are we bringing to ourselves? What are we repelled by? Think about the last time somebody asked you if you'd like to go on a trip, and you said, sure, why not? And they said, or you said, where would you like to go? And they named a city that you'd never been to before, and yet your response was, I don't want to go there. Or it was, yeah, let's go. Why is that? Why couldn't it have been the same response in both cases? When we take that city and add them up, many times we're going to find out that it actually has a challenging vibration to your life path number. And so it's great fun. It's great fun to figure out all of these numbers. What type of vibration are we bringing to ourselves at all times?
So basically what I saw in your bio is that you do general readings, you do compatibility readings, even how compatible one's home is. And basically it sounds so fascinating to me. And I really was thinking, can all of this be done with numbers?
It sure can. And the fun part is that we don't have to have a special tool. We don't have to have anything special except to add up in our minds, know the basis of each number, and we use 1 through 9. We also use 11, 22, and 33. Those are the master numbers. We don't break those down. And once you know the background of each number, then you can start to see how they're woven together. You can see how you may even pull a number. In my case, I'm a 7 life path. We have a little bit of a challenge with the number 8, yet in this part of my life, I needed what the 8 could teach me. Like I said, it's a challenge to me. So right now, as I'm living in a friend's home, I run between my place and their place, house sitting, but I needed that 8 town in an 8 state in an 8 house to accomplish what I needed to accomplish. Now, I'm ready to go. I've done my thing. But at the same time, it's not unusual also that we will pull a challenging number to ourselves, not for the long haul, but just a little while, because there is something about it we need to learn.
So, Cheryl, this our life path number, is this kind of like an astrological sign?
It is. It is sort of like a sun sign, but we are not the sum of just our sun sign. I'm a Gemini, or somebody else may be a Capricorn, a Scorpio, Virgo, whatever. But we have many planets within our planetary placement. Same thing with our numbers. When I'm sitting down with a reading with someone, I'm looking at 8 digits. And our life path number is it's sort of like the glasses. What we filter life through is just our overall personality. But we also have a destiny number, which tells me this is what we're here to accomplish. We also have a soul number, which tells me this is the gift you came into this lifetime vibrating. It's what's tucked away deep down inside your heart. And then you have the day you were born. Very strong number, because unless we're telling stories, we cannot change our birthday. So we have different numbers, and my job, and sometimes I feel like a little bit of a bard, is to take those numbers, weave them together, and find out what's going on with this person. What's their weaknesses? What's their strengths? What do they bring to the table? How do they, well, as you said, compatibility. How are they compatible with another person that they have chosen to be their partner? So it's great fun to do that. Absolutely.
Wow. So basically, you pretty much answered my next question. So like the sun signs and the rising signs, the other numbers can pretty much change the characteristics of that life path number, correct?
Absolutely. Your life path number is always going to be there. When the rubber hits the road, you're still going to respond like that life path number. And another little interesting note for women especially, because we change our names many times when we get married, we can actually change 3 of those numbers, and then we start pulling from a different lifetime, another, a past life. And in that case, that's when many times 2 people, they meet, they fall in love, they get married, and what happens within about 6 months? Somebody's yelling, "You've changed." Well, yes, she changed her name. Now, in some cases, this is to their advantage, and in some cases, it's not. So whenever a woman is sitting down in front of me, she's either saying, well, I'm thinking about getting married and changing my name, red flags go off, Or I'm getting a divorce and I'm considering changing my name back, and I'm going to say, are you in business? Let's find out what you're going to do to yourself by changing it back. Men, in many cases, I know many gentlemen, they have their given name that they were born with, but they also have a nickname that they use extensively, perhaps with their last name. And in those cases, I will always do 2 charts, and just to find out, when do you use the nickname, when do you use your everyday name, and, do you use them equally, and what are you using them for? A case in point is the gentleman that owns this house that I'm living in right now. He has his name, but when he is using his given name, he is the therapist. He is the counselor. But when he uses his nickname, which he does extensively, that is when he's the film director. That is when he is doing documentaries and putting them together, and it fits absolutely perfectly. And that's another interesting note, is that people will gravitate, and I'm going to I'm going to pick on Noah there in the chat room, is that he chose a handle that fits him. He may have changed his handle from one to another, but he grabbed onto that master vibration again. We don't have to even know numerology. We will instinctively grab that vibration that works with us.
So basically, even though, like you're saying, that everyone instinctively gravitates towards something, so does that mean that everyone has a numerical blueprint?
Everybody has a numerical blueprint, you bet. And as I said, I can get that usually down to 8 digits. Now, tonight we're only going to be working with the major 3, because if we gave too much information, well, it's called identity theft, and we don't want to do that on the radio. But absolutely. And there are times that I will do that on the radio, but everybody does it through private message, so that we don't give too much information out. But with that birth date, as I said, that is the one thing we cannot change. We were born on a certain day. We were born in a certain month and a certain year. So that's a very strong reading to just even work with those 3 numbers.
Wow. Okay, so now we have a life path. I've heard attitude number, personal year. How do you put this all together for someone that you're reading for?
Well, it takes a little bit of practice, but the first thing I do is I find out how many numbers, if I'm working with 6 or whatever, 8 numbers, I get them all down there. The first thing I look at is their life path number. That tells me the type of person I'm working with. It tells me some of their strengths and some of their weaknesses. Next thing I'm looking for those double digits. I'm looking for numbers that repeat, such as myself. You'll hear me pick on myself a lot. I've got 2 1s, I've got 2 4s, I've got 2 7s in my numerical blueprint. Those are the things I'm looking for, because they are going to pull a little bit stronger when you have them twice or 3 times or 4 times within your blueprint. They will also be little messages to me that says this is something they have to achieve. They have to go after this. It's not something that they can ignore. So just depending on what the story is behind that particular number will tell me a little bit about them. But the other good thing about those double digits is that it also tells me for career. If somebody sits down and says, I don't know what I should study in school. I don't know where I want to go. I've got several things I want to do. Those tell me what they are going to be probably aiming towards. The other one, the person that says, I don't know where I want to live. Now, I love those. That's probably my most favorite, is when somebody says, I want to leave this state. I want to leave this city. I want to move someplace else. Well, the first thing I want to know is where are you at? What is the state you're in? Let's find out what the vibration is. 9 times out of 10, it's a challenge to them. And the first question I'll ask is, where would you like to go? And, everybody has in the back of their mind about 3 places they think they would like to go. Sure enough, when I run them out, there they are. They will either match their life path, their destiny number, which is something that we are here to accomplish, or sometimes it's even their soul number, that deep down in their soul, that in their heart, they want to be able to return to. So it's
that is
quite,
so
like
wonderful.
I said, Oh, yeah, it's great fun.
So, I understand that you're an empath. Now, does this ability play a part when you do readings?
It does in my readings many times because the fun part about numerology is that you can study it. A 4 is always going to be a 4 is always going to be a 4. You know, an 8 is always going to be an 8. But there are times that there's just like this little voice in the back yelling, no, they're not going to do it. Or they go off in this direction. And in that case, I have many times even been reading on the radio, and I hear myself talking, and there's this voice behind me going, no, you know, that's not where they're going to go at this time. And finally, I'll just say, you know, this is what it means, but you're not going to do it. You're not going to go in this direction. Let's try this instead. Let's go for the destiny number or the maturity number. And that depends on somebody's, how old they are. Maturity numbers are one of those things that is a gift to us, pops into our lives in the second half of our life. We don't have to work for it like we do some of the others. And that is something that we are going, it's our second job. We don't get to sit on the couch. We don't get to sit on the couch and say, here I am, I'm just going to watch Montel Williams for the rest of my life until I die. No, in your 50s, you're given a second job. So,
so basically then, once you've read someone, the reading can change, can it?
You know, it is that way, I believe, in all divination arts. The world is rarely etched in stone. Our worlds are really more like water because you have other people around you. Unless you're going to live like a hermit, totally alone for the rest of your life, and most of no one is going to actually do that, you are going to have other people come in. They're bringing their own vibrations. And also, just because you want to do a certain thing doesn't mean that that's how it's going to go. We all have stepping stones that we have to walk on in order to get where we're going in life. So, yes, our lives many times are more like water and less like stone.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, just a quick question. How often would you recommend that someone gets a numerology reading?
6 months is really nice. Even 1 year is nice as well, because you can figure out what someone is going to go through for their personal year. Such as Anthony's being real quiet, so Lucy, let's pick on him. He is in a particular, he's in a 6 personal year right now. And
he woke up.
And a 6 personal year tells me it's all about the family. It's all about, and family doesn't mean necessarily the people you're biologically connected to. It also means people that you look upon, let's say friends. We've all got friends that we say, you know, she's as close as a sister, he's as close as a brother. It can mean that as well. So it is about the family, and it's also a great time if someone is looking for a special someone. You look at those 6s and go, and your ears perk up. There it goes. But it's also about color, design. London, Paris, New York, Garment Rows are filled with number 6s because they love that color, they love that design, but they want to take it and slap it on your body. So that's also around the number 6. 6 is also a magnet of people and money. So you can bring new friends into your life. You can also bring money into your life, but 6 is not a great investment number. So, but that's okay. The 6 says money will be there when you need it. May for him, personal month. So it's about, we're going to look at that 6, we're looking at that 11 for May, and you're going to have very high intuition. Think of 6th sense. 11 is also about high intuition. Blend the two together. The advice for him this month, trust your gut feelings. Whatever it comes to, trust that still small voice within you. And that's how we meld the months and the years together.
Wow. So, you also practice tarot and astrology. Now, do you can you use them together during a reading?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I do. When someone sits down for a reading, a day before, they get their they get a little packet. Tells me what their astrological signs are. And I don't get into the astrology as much, of course, as I do the tarot and the numerology. But I also teach a class in numerology for tarot readers. And by the time you've had a couple classes, you really believe that the numerologist sat down with the tarot readers and came up with those cards. And the next thing you know is as you're reading your tarot cards, you can add up the numbers across the top. Many times they add up to that person's life path. Many times it is a destiny number. It's incredible. And a lot of people have a lot of fun with that one because it really adds a new dimension to your readings. And let's face it, we've all had readings, and what do? Maybe we're really concerned about something, so we go to the numerologist and we have a reading, and that holds us for about, 48 hours? And then we run over to the tarot reader, and we have the same reading, and we ask the same questions. Come on, we've all done it. And she gives us the same answers, or he gives us the same answers, and that holds us for another 48 hours. Then we run over to the astrologer. And, come on, as I said, we've all done it. And that helps us for a while. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for confirmation. When you can put both of them into the same reading, they've got two confirmations in one reading.
Amazing.
I love it. I love doing it that way. I learned that from my grandmother. I don't know where she learned that art, but she passed it on to me.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, there is a great line in your bio that states that you're passionate about reading for spiritually oriented women in the second half of their lives who know they can make a difference in the world but find themselves continually holding back. So how can numerology help us? And you do notice I said us.
There you go. Many of us come from, we're in that generation. We were raised by women from the 1920s, the 1930s. They were raised by women from the 1800s. And there was a definite way of living. Our mothers passed that on to us. We don't. This fall, I'm walking the El Camino de Santiago by myself. That would have never flown in my family, trust me. And so it was those things. You must live this way. You must always have an escort. You must always have. And so many people, many women, 45 and older, are still stuck saying, I can't because. I'd love to do this, but I can't because. So the first thing I want to do is I want to sit down there, and I'm going to figure out their charts. And that's where we begin. I'm going to show them these are your strengths. This is what you can do. And the fun part is that the majority of women are going to come to that meeting with exactly, I want to do this. Their charts are actually going to show them that they can do that. We all have that little voice inside of us that just resonates with who we are. Then I'm going to incorporate the coaching within there. Let's come up with a step. This is what we're going to do. Here's the months that you can do this and this and this and this by the numbers. This is when you have the greatest strength to do your marketing. This is when you have your greatest strength to do your networking. This is your month to do communicating. And this is the numbers within your blueprint that shows you have the ability to do this. So we're going to incorporate all of those. So it's numerology, it's tarot, it's coaching, all woven in together, and everyone's going to be a little different because their numerical blueprints are different.
Excellent, excellent. So what would you need from our callers to do a reading for them tonight?
All we need is their birth date. It's just day, month, and year.
Okay. So can you finish reading Anthony and give me a reading before we take callers?
I can. Now, I'm going to do 6 numbers with you, and I'm going to go ahead and say the whole numerical blueprint. I'm not going to give your ages out or your date of birth. That's okay.
Okay.
But, Anthony, I'm going to back up on you. You've got a soul number of 3. That is the communicator. That is the artist. That is the when I say artist, it can be anywhere from words, the actual artist who paints, music, anything to do with artistry, even the author, anything to do with writing. You have a personality number of 11. Now, the personality numbers tell me how others perceive you to be, and we can't always help that, but I look at it really close when someone's in business, and that for you is the number 11. So when people see you, when they interact with you, it's that master number that comes out to them. Your name adds up. A power name number of 5 draws people to you. It's the adventurer. This is someone who does not like being bored. With that 3 and the 5 together, put a 3 and a 5 in the same car and send them on vacation, and they're not going to want to come home. And they're going to want to spend all the money. The 3 is actually going to egg the 5 on to spend the most. You were born on an 11th day. Now I've got 2 master numbers in front of me. So very strong in that field. But you're a 4 life path. So it also tells me you're a walking encyclopedia. You know a little bit about everything. You like to watch documentaries and books and go to the library and go to the bookstore, but you don't look at it as study. This is just plain fun. So that's what the 4 is. It says, I want stability in my life. I want security in my life. But the fun part is you still have that 5, so that because the 4 doesn't like to take risks. But the 5 says, oh, just, let's pull out all the stops. And, excuse me. So we have that 4 and 5 that puts a really nice balance there. But you have an attitude number. Again, it's the facade that we wear. It's not always us, but you have one of a 1. It's the leader. It is the person who is the innovator, the inventor, very independent. The 4 and the 1, very strong numbers together. Again, you know how to go after what you want. As I said, you're in a 6 personal year, 11 personal month. It's only for the month. Next month, I like that combination because you're going to be in a 6 personal year. This is for June. With a 3 personal month, it's all about creativity. What do you want to change in your own business? Where do you want to take it? But it's the fun side. It's the creative side. It's the communicating side and networking. Network during those 3s.
Wow. You hit me. You hit me right on the head with that. I mean, I can't. I'm speechless. First time I'm speechless.
Okay.
You did. That's him.
Now for Lucy.
That's great.
Let's see. Am I coming across? I just was wondering if my speaker went out there for a second.
Oh no, I can hear you loud and clear. I can't wait.
Okay, Lucy, you have a soul number of 4, which is the same as the life path of Anthony. So deep down inside, you do the same thing as Anthony, but you've got to tuck it away inside of yourself. You've got a personality number of 3. There's the communicator, is what other people perceive you to be. But when in business, and especially for what you're doing this evening, excellent number. However, you have a power name of 7. That is the spiritual seeker. That's the number that kind of pulls you back a little bit. You do like your time with other people, but you also like your time alone as well. And with that 4 soul number and that 7 power name number, you're a person that has never experienced what it's like to sit in a chair and not have a thought. You know when you sit into a group and you look at somebody and say, what are you thinking? And that person answers nothing, and you think, you cannot be brain dead. I'm sorry. How can you not think of anything? Because when you walk into a room, you're already looking at the surroundings and saying, this is the color they like. They like this kind of color. I wonder why they picked out these lamps. I think that look at these pictures on the wall. Did they really think that was a great combination? And it's the analyzing. So our minds never stop. And I'm not picking on you because I've got 2 4.
No, this is so perfect.
You're born on 11th day, just like Anthony
Cheryl,
does.
Cheryl, is that a form of ADD?
Oh, no.
It could be. No, Anthony, it's the researchers and the detectives of the world. And
okay.
There you go. And,
sorry, I had to add that. Sorry.
Yeah, he did have to ask.
So here we go.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cheryl.
2 people born on an 11th day, so there's those master numbers. It is about enlightening. motivating, and uplifting other people around you to be the best that they can be. I know that a lot of people like to have master numbers within their numerical blueprint, but like we were talking before the show, when you bring in master numbers into your life, and let's face it, it was not necessarily, well, if we look at our lives now, we can blame it on our parents, you know. But if we go back to saying we choose our lives, then we chose that. And what we're bringing to ourselves is more lessons, not necessarily hard, but more lessons in our life, because we need to walk in other people's shoes in order to relate to their circumstances. So that's what those 11s mean. Lucy, you're a 9 life path. That is the humanitarian. It's the counselor. It's the therapist. It doesn't mean you have a degree in it, but you're the person people feel comfortable, oh, gosh, I've got this concern. I'm going to go talk to Lucy. I'm going to bring my coffee, and I'm going to sit at your desk, and I'm going to tell you my problem, because I just know with that 7 and that 11, you've got wisdom to share. Number 9, old wisdom. So here we go. We've got a person who's got great observation skills. She's going to look for the best of anybody, and she's got that number that says, I'll listen to you. I want to heal your pain. You've got all the numbers of being a psychologist. You know?
Oh, no.
But your attitude number is a number 6, and that's also a very nurturing number. It is a family number. It's mom. Mom's going to take care of me. So the 9 and the 6 says, run to Lucy's place, because not only will she impart her wisdom, but she just might, I don't know, adopt me. Take care of me. Now, you're not in just any 2 personal year. When I back yours up, because there's 2 2s. There's the one that adds up to 20, a slash, and we break that down to a 2. And there's the one that adds up to the number 11, and we break that down to a 2 year. Yours is the 11. Watch your dreams. Watch the visions that come to you, the great ideas that kind of pop into your head out of the blue, because your intuition is running high this year. Just like Anthony, if I told him his was running high, so is yours. But you're in the 7 personal month. Again, the 2 or the 11 and the 7 are a bit of a challenge to each other, because one's very emotional and one is very distant. So there's that tug of pull, but at the same time, what they do share in common is their spirituality. This is a great time. 7 also likes to study. If there is a type of divination skill that you have always wanted to study, May is a great time for you. But the biggest thing is to watch the dreams, watch the thoughts. And if you think to yourself, oh, that can't be from me, grab a tablet, grab a journal, just write them down as they come along and watch the pattern. They don't go away at the end of May. In other words, if the message is that something's going to come to you, your guides aren't going to say, well, Lucy, you didn't pay any attention. I'm just ripping that off the side. No, it's there. You'll always be able to pursue it. But there are going to be just special messages being given to you through the month of May. So just go ahead and write them down and watch the pattern unfold. And that's what's coming from May.
You know, that's really amazing, because I am a tarot card reader. And I just recently just had the thought that I want to start reading more. I really do, and that's just so amazing. And you hit me right on the head. Yes, I do take care of everybody else. Yes, I mother everybody. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
As I said, it is so much fun. And when I started out on the radio, I was actually starting in another, more with the tarot. And as more people kept calling in, they wanted to know about these numbers. And I found that, oh, my gosh, this was so much more fun, and I could go so much more fast, go faster. And that's how it started out. So I enjoy it. I really do. And it is great fun, as you said, to just weave these numbers together and see where's everybody going? What are they going to be doing? Where's their strengths? And how can they, expand them?
Well, it is so obvious that you enjoy what you're doing. So would you like to take some calls now, and let's have our listeners call in and see what they can get?
Yes, let's weave those numbers.
Anthony, do we have somebody?
Yeah, we do. I'm going to go down the list. We have actually quite a few callers. But if you're listening in the chat right now, or if you're listening on the air live, you can call in and get your reading done by Cheryl Patton. The number is 661-244-9831. So I'm going to take the first caller. This is Noah from Michigan. Hello, Noah. You're on the air with Cheryl. Please give Cheryl your date of birth.
Hi, Anthony, Lucy, and Cheryl.
Hi, Noah.
Cheryl, great to have you.
Hi, Noah.
My birth date is January 25th, 1974.
Great. Born on the 7th day. We've got an 8 attitude. And let me go ahead and find that life path for you. You are a master number of 11. So
Hi, this is Anthony. Can I have your name and location?
This is Noah still.
Did we lose Cheryl? Hold on.
Hi, this is Anthony. Can I have your name and location?
Hello, Cheryl?
did you lose me?
Hello. Yeah, we lost you for a little bit there, but you're back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start over just a little bit. Noah, are you there?
I am, thank you.
Okay, great. That's okay. As I was saying, you're born on a 7th day, 8 attitude, 11 life path number. A lot of intuition around you. You're one of these people who should really trust their gut feelings. And with the combination of the 7 and 11, you have the ability to really dig in and search out what you want. The person who will sit and observe and come up with great ideas. You're in a 4 personal year, which tells me it's about security, stability. It's about the home. And when I mean home, not just a structure, it's about creating a real home. It's also about any type of educational pursuits that you may wish to go after. And it's also about business because 2, 4, and 8 are the business numbers of numerology. So it's a little bit of a methodical year, but it's a very natural vibration to you at this point. What I'm looking at is May. May is a 9 personal month. Now that's just going to be for the month of May. But what it says is let's look at all those things that surround your life. What's working for you? What's not working for you? You're going to be thinking of letting some things go. If we listen to the astrologers, they're talking, everybody's going to be looking at that in May, but your numbers actually fall that way. What do you need to just say? And when I say letting go, I think of people, places, and things. More closets and garages get cleaned out during a 9 personal month than any other time. So it's just looking at everything about your life and saying, what do I want to give up? What do I want to leave behind? What have I outgrown? And what do I want to take on the next 9-month journey? Because June, you're in a 1 personal month. The 1 plus the 4 says, I'm going after my dreams. I'm going after my goals. And you've got a whole month to really push it in June. The only thing you have to look at is 1 personal month in a 4 personal year, this is June now, is to allow others to say what they need to say. I always say put 4 and 1 on the debate team and you're going to win every time. So you just have to remember to give and take when it comes to conversation.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for calling, Noah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we have area code 859. This is Michelle from Kentucky. You're on the air with Cheryl. Please give Cheryl your date of birth.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
my date
Michelle.
of birth is, hi. My date of birth is 11/27/1968.
Great. Okay, born on a 9 day, 9, 10, 11. We're going to have the 11s tonight. And the interesting part about shows is that they will all be a little different, but we'll keep bringing the same number in. So born on a 9 day, we have an 11 attitude number. And let's find out what your life path is. You're an 8 life path. It is business and finance, but you've got so much caring around you that you wouldn't necessarily enjoy like working in a bank. Even though you have the ability to do so, you've got a lot of compassion within you. So yours would be more closer to people, to working with people. Mm-hmm. You're in what's going to be considered a little bit of a slow year for you, but everybody gets to have this. It is about you. It is a year for you because you're in a 7 personal year. When it comes to social, it's not as fun, it's not as exciting, because it's a time that we start looking within ourselves. What are our belief systems? What are our philosophies? What's working for us and how we would like to change it? A lot of people end up going back to school during the 7 personal year. And right now, you've got a little bit of a break because you're going to be in a 3 personal month. When I also see the 3 personal month, it says, let's break out a little bit. Let's go down to Starbucks. Let's have an impromptu dinner party. Let's have dessert. Let's have laughter, comedy DVDs. Let's have a good time. Do get out in May with your friends. Or even if it's just one, see who you can take with you to go and just have fun. Because the 3 is also about playfulness, laughter. It's about the child. It's about having a good time. June is going to be a 4. It's back to nose to the grindstone. It's about studying yourself, the home, a little bit of maybe even looking at your job and saying, is this where I want to be? If you want to get into a different profession or a different job, or even a home-based business, 4s are great for that, and that's June for you. But right now, this is called vacation month. Even if you have to go to work, it's still on your own time. Enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Because, the 7 is one of those that, as I said, makes us look within.
And actually that is where I'm at in my life right now. I am looking within more, and I'm trying to connect more to my higher self.
That's
do
exactly
very compassionate, and I like taking care of people. I read tarot cards also. I feel like what is going to make me happiest in my life is to pursue my spiritual gifts, and to that's probably what the end of my life, that's what my career is actually going to be, I feel.
So you've got good numbers for it.
Yeah, so it's good to know that I am on the right track.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Yes, this is a great year for you if you want to study even more with your tarot. It's absolutely wonderful.
Okay, thank you. I will pursue that.
You're
further.
welcome.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, you guys. Much love and blessings.
Much love and blessings to you too, sweetie.
That was great. Okay,
fun.
we have. This is. Do we have? Let's see here. Area code 480. I believe this is Amy from Arizona. Please give Cheryl your birth date.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. My birthday is April 28th of 1971.
Great. Born on a 1-day, 5 attitude. Let's find out what your life path number is here. And you're also a 5 life path. We don't get too many of the 5s that come in, so it's great. 5s used to be, I'll tell you what, in the 1700s, the 5s were the ones that got into the wagons, got into the boats and said, what's on the other side of the mountain? What's on the other side of this land? Where does it go? What's at the end of the river? They were our pioneers and our adventurers. But now we don't have any continents that we have to explore anymore. So these folks have now mutated. They're called the travel industry. They're always on the move. Amy is one woman who does not like being bored. You're not going to find her sitting down and just saying, oh, I think I'm just going to twiddle my thumbs. It's not going to happen. So what we're going to do is find out. She's in a number 1 year. I'm envious because I love number 1 years. It's about going after everything you want. High energy. What are your goals? What are your dreams? Pursue them right up until December 31st, and don't give up. Number 1 year with those number 5s can be a little bit cerebral, so give yourself some sacred space. In other words, we might get a little bit tired, so it's okay to say at 5:30, I'm shutting the door, even if it's just figuratively, and I'm going to relax, because you've got a lot of energy circulating around you for 2012. And May for you is actually a 6th personal month. It's about looking at family. And I always tell people, sometimes family is not the folks that we were related to. So whomever you deem as family, it's time for them. It's also time to be very domestic. When the number 6 comes around, sometimes we start looking at our walls and go, who picked out this color? And the next thing you know, we're down at the paint shop and we're picking out new paint. Absolutely perfect for springtime. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden this month you start thinking, I really want new curtains and I want new walls, and I think I want this changed, and I think I want different kind of plants out in the front yard, because it's a very domestic number. When it comes to June, you're going to be in a 7 personal month, in a 1 personal year. Again, between the 1, the 5, and the 7, all 3 are very natural to each other. However, it can be a real thinking month. So do give yourself some sacred space time that says, I'm going to calm down my brain, because you could really get on overload analyzing a lot of things. Just go out for a walk. The number 7 also relaxes by getting out in nature, and that could just be a walk around your yard. So anytime the 7 comes around, if you feel a little stressed, and as I said, that's June for you, just get out, walk around, touch a tree, touch the plants. It doesn't have to be for a long time. Come back in and start again, because that's how the 5 and the 7 relax.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling, Amy.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Cheryl, this is so much fun.
It is fun. I love it.
Does it get too much for you after you've done maybe 4 or 5 or 6 in a row like this? Does it overwhelm you too much?
No, I always think I should be memorizing everybody's birth date, because when I hear the same callers call in, I think, oh gosh, I have to ask them again. Until I was reminded that it is okay to let all those numbers go. Around the holidays, I actually do 2-hour shows, and I'm doing 8-digit readings where they get to type into the personal message box. And so I'm actually doing all 8 numbers, and I'll go for 2 hours. And I'm just doing more readings this way. But I will say that, after 2 hours, then I'm ready for a rest.
I'm sure you are.
I would imagine so.
Okay, so you ready for another caller?
I sure am.
Okay, I believe this is Annette from New York. You are on the air. Please give Cheryl your date of birth.
Okay, thank you for taking my call. It's 12/13/1959.
Great. All right. Born on a 4-day, 4, 5, 6, 7 attitude. Let me see what I have here for a life path number. And I'm just going to check it, make sure I type that out correctly. And we've got another 4. Okay, you are also a 4 life path, just like Anthony. But I have 2 4s here. And so the 4 tells me, we've got double 4s, tells me that taking risks isn't always something that's real comfortable for you. But remember, Donald Trump is a life path 4. And if he didn't bring himself out of that comfort zone once in a while, he wouldn't have what he has today. So it's okay, because you know what? I'll tell you another little secret about the number 4, especially with having double 4s. You have fantastic ideas. You may not always trust in them, but that is just a gift of the 4. And with the double ones, a lot of those things that pop in your head that you say, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea, guess what? They are good ideas. So trust yourself. You have some fantastic ideas. And when it comes to 2012, you're in a 3 personal year. And it's about networking and communication. If you're in a job that you would like to, let's say you'd like to have a promotion, this is a good time to let someone know. If you're in your own business, or you can even have it as a side business, This is time to let everybody know what you do. If they don't know you're out there, they don't know to purchase your services. And so this is a time to get out and say, do I like my business cards? Do I like my brochures, my website, anything to do with communication? Perhaps you enjoy some type of artistry work. This is a good year to go ahead and continue it and sell it, set up at places, bring more people into your life and have a good time. We also, in a 3 personal year, can make new friends. So have fun with it. It's a time for enjoyment. If there's anything that you would like to do at this time of year that, let's say you wanted to go on a cruise or you wanted that special vacation, a number 3 year is a good time to go. You're in an 8 personal month for May. You're going to be looking at your finances. It could be anywhere from your job, saying, do I want this job? Do I want to continue? Or it could be very mundane and just saying, oh, maybe I'd like to change this bank account. Anything to do with business, finance, or money. Good time to pick up a job would be for the month of May. Now, 8 isn't just about money and money, finances, and business. It's also about health, and don't take it as a negative. When the 8 comes around, we start looking at our diets. We start looking at what we eat, and maybe there's something we want to change about it. We also might say, I'd like to start walking or have a membership to a gym. So we also start looking at our health issues and how we'd like to change it for the better. So all that is for the month of May that you're going to be going through. Just like some of the other callers, for June, you are going to start looking at what's working for you and what's not working for you. But for you, being it's a 3 and a 9 together, it's also going to be a very creative time. Whomever you deem as your family, especially if there's youngsters in the family, have more of a family night. Have a little bit more fun and playfulness when it comes to your friends and family. So that's going to be May and June for you.
All righty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in.
You're done.
Okay, so if you guys out there are listening and, you're loving what Cheryl is doing, I think these readings have been spot on. Give a call, 661-244-9831. Cheryl, the phone lines are lighting up over here. It's hard to keep up with all of them. All right, we're going to take the next caller, which
Cheryl, can I just ask a real quick question as I'm listening?
Sure.
And I'm thinking, you're doing all of this just without anything? You're just adding all these numbers up? Wow,
yes.
That is absolutely amazing.
Now, I am very fortunate that, thank goodness, somebody out there in America in the last couple of years created what's called a numerology calculator. Now, it's only going to give me 3 numbers, but and it doesn't give you any explanation. You have to know what the numbers mean. But we can add them so much faster. Up until a few years ago, we used to have to do all this by hand. And we would have a little cheat sheet chart. And if you had a 10 key, that was great. But, yes, you learn through repetition, and it's working with others. But, no, I don't have a cheat sheet here that tells me what all these different things mean. And each number is going to have positives, and it's going to have negatives. How do we read those together with another number? How do they compare? Where's the tug of pulls? These are things that you just have to learn with time.
Wow. Absolutely fascinating. I'm sorry, Anthony,
just like
who do we have? Yes.
Okay, next caller is 216 area code. I believe this is Carlotta from Ohio. You are on the air with Cheryl, Anthony, and Lucy. Hello?
Hello?
Hello,
Hi, is this
how are
Carlotta?
you today?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Carlotta.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my birthday is May 31st, 1963.
Wonderful. Born on a 4-day 9 attitude. And let's find out last day of May. So you have a birthday coming up. And
yes,
you're
I do.
a one life path. Okay, a one life path. These are the leaders. These are the innovators. These are the folks that go after their dreams. We sometimes call them CEOs and business owners and leaders, the supervisors. And also, between that 1 and that 4, definite ideas of where you would like to go. So, wonderful numbers. Let's see where you are for 2012. You're in a 5 personal year, so let's talk about that because the 5s are a little bit different, and everybody has to go through it. Your personal years actually coincide with the Earth's personal years. If we look at 2012, we add the 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5. You will always feel the vibrations of the Earth a little bit more than other people. So that's an interesting little note for you. But you're in that 5 personal year, which I call the roller coaster year, because it's not always about drama. It's not always about, there's people that think, oh gosh, they think of the 5s in the tarot deck and they just think, they cringe and say, oh no. But it's not always about that. But it is about movement. It's about change. It's the time that the universe kind of knocks on our head and says, Carlotta, I'd like you a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right. Let's get you back on path. And we start tweaking our path. And that's what the 5 is to you. You are in a 1 personal month in a 5 personal year. And so it means that things that you would like to accomplish, especially if it has anything to do with movement and change, this is a great time to do it. You may even feel like if there was something either within yourself or in your environment that you wanted to change, you're really going to be chomping at the bit in May and saying, can we get this done? Let's get this done now. Can we? Let's move it on. I want to do this now. And so that's what May is going to be for you. But I'd also like to address June a little bit. You're going to be in a 2 personal month in a 5 personal year. The 2 and the 5, probably of all of the number combinations, is a bit like oil and water. And one is as freedom-loving as the other one is dependent. And so what I always tell people, when you get there, just roll with the punches and know that there's a lot of time for you as well. Take time out for you, spoil you. And it's okay to say, I'm closing the door at 5. And this is my time. Because as I said, there's going to be many situations perhaps during June where you're going to feel that tug of pull or feel like you're going in 2 different directions because they are such different vibrations. But it's also a great time to meet somebody. The number 2 says love, peacefulness, harmony, companionship, high intuition. So that's June for you. And it doesn't mean you're going to necessarily meet someone new. If you have someone in your life, guess what? June is a good time to spice things up.
Oh, I need to meet somebody.
Okay. And now I'm also going to tell you a little thing about the number 5. Number 5, all that glitters is not gold. So if you meet that special someone in June, take them right into 2013 before you make any major decisions.
Okay.
Because in the 5 personal years, we're like kids in a candy store. everything looks good. So, absolutely. And, of course, at this time of year, you probably wouldn't, most people wouldn't jump within that amount of time. But you never know. You never know.
No. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and everyone have a good evening.
You're welcome. You too.
Thank you for calling,
Bye-bye.
dear.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So our next caller is area code 618. This is Bobby from Illinois. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, guys. How are you tonight?
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
How's everybody doing?
Very
Great.
good.
We're fine.
Good.
How are
Well,
you?
I'm great. I'm doing good. My birth date is 5/7/81.
Great. Born on a 7 day, that makes it really easy. Well, let me see. And you have a 3 attitude. Your life, we got the 4s tonight. And you also have a 4. You have a 4 life path number. And so we've got that 7 and 4 again. You probably can relate to Lucy and I when somebody says, I'm not thinking of anything, and you're going, not possible.
Right.
Not possible.
The ADD.
We can't do that. You're in an 8 personal year. 8 tells me we are looking at our finances, but we're also looking at our job. If you work outside the home, then perhaps you are looking, where do I want to go with it? What do I want to do with it? If you don't work outside the home, this is a good time if you're thinking, you know what, I'd like to start something of my own. We also do that during 8 personal years. As I said, it can even be as mundane as just looking at your accounts, looking at little things that our budgets, things like that. But it's also looking at health. We also like to look really good during an 8 personal year. It's when we start looking in the mirror and saying, I'm changing my hair. In fact, who bought these clothes in this closet? They're going out. I want a new look. We do that during an 8 personal year as well. Let's take a look at May for you. May is, guess what? It is a very natural vibration to your life path because you're already in May, you're in a 4 personal month. You're a 4 life path. What do you want to pursue as far as anything you want to learn, or what do you want to do around your home? A lot of times with the 2 4s and the 8 combination, this is when we start wanting to fix up where we live. Oh, that doorknob needs to be fixed. And for next thing you know, we've got the screwdriver out. And little things like that. We start looking at kind of tweaking little things around the house that maybe we need to have fixed up. But for the most part, May for you is going to be a lot of looking at your stability, your security, either immediate or long-term. Those are things that start going through our heads. I'm looking at June for you. It's going to be a 5 personal month in an 8 personal year. Anything around finances that you want to change, you're going to feel that change, or that change, that movement, that want to move forward a whole lot more, because that 5 is going to be vibrating around you. But it's only for the month. So anything to do with spending money, that's another thing you'll have to worry about. In June, the 5 says,
I'm going to Vegas in June.
Here you go. Okay. The 8 says, let's leave some digits in the checkbook. And the 5 says, why? And the 8 says, because we're supposed to leave digits in the checkbook. And the 5 says, yeah, but you can put a negative number in front of that, a negative sign. So that's the tug of war you'll have in June. But definitely, 5 is about movement, change, travel, and spending money. But luckily, you're able to cancel that a little bit.
All right, the 8 will balance out the 5. I can handle that. Well, yes. Thank you guys so much. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Bobby.
Right.
Take care now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Cheryl, are you doing okay?
Oh, yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Cheryl, Cheryl, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You mentioned earlier, just briefly, about your grandmother. Did she help you develop your gifts?
She is the one that I used to get to spend summers, it would be about 3 weekends or 2 weeks during the summer with. And as I said, I never got to ask her where she learned her divination skills from. I know it wasn't her mother. I knew my great-grandmother, but she passed them on to me. So in the evening, we used to go upstairs. This is a big old house, very old, and we could listen to the trees, all the wind blowing through the trees, and she would teach me everything she knew. Now, if my parents had known this, they would have been horrified, because that wasn't how I was being raised. But this is who I learned it from. And unfortunately, she died before I could ask the question, where did you learn it from? Or I should say, there comes an age where those things become important to us. But as a child, you just think this is the way it is. I would have loved to have been able to ask, where did you learn? My gut feeling says from her grandmother. And I have no way. The whole family tree is gone at this point. So I can't verify it here on Earth. But she used to go and spend 2 weeks every summer with her grandmother. And I think it's coming down through the ages.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's fascinating because I remember growing up with my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Mexico. I was raised here in Chicago. I didn't speak any Spanish. She didn't speak any English. But yet the summers when I would go down there, it was like she told me all these things. And I learned so much from her. And I'd go back and I'd tell my father, and my father would be like, "Where'd you learn that stuff?" And it would be like, "Grandma told me." And for some reason, I think she just imparted so much wisdom to me. And to this day, I still don't understand how she did that.
It's like magical, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like
and
a
that
magical
bond,
time.
That bond between, like our grandmothers and us, it's just so beautiful. And it's really, really an amazing thing.
Well, here was another silly thing, is that you would think, because she's teaching me all this, that we would just know all about our backgrounds. And yet we didn't. We didn't really delve into each other that much. I think she did for me, but I didn't for her. Because I was the child, she was the adult. It was after she was gone that I started digging into her numerical blueprint. It never dawned on to me. That was just Grandma. We didn't have to worry about Grandma. I just never wondered. I just felt like it was a part of me. Well, it was a part of me because our numerical blueprints are almost identical. I just never had a need to know the numbers. And when I figured them out one day, and I sat there and I thought, no wonder I didn't need to know the numbers. We are identical.
How beautiful. How beautiful.
But
all right,
all those questions that we'd like to have them back and ask them.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's get to some of the callers. We have our next caller is Mike from Philadelphia. Hello, Mike. You are on the air. Please give Cheryl your birthday.
December 23rd. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for your time. Yeah, my birthday
Mike.
is... Hello, Lucy. December 23rd, 1964.
All right. I tell you, I'm having a lot of 1964 people coming to me this year. And I won't go into it on the show, but Lucy, I'll have to tell you later. And I think it's fascinating. I had a great event a huge event that happened in 1964, and I just had so many people coming that have been born there. Mike, you're born on a 5-day, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got an 8 attitude, and you're a 1 life path. I've got another 5-1 combination. This is a person that can be the leader, but a lot of change within it. I like that. A lot of motivation, a lot of determination. When you decide you're going to do something, get out of his way. You're in a 4 personal year. Tells me business, the home. 4 is a very rounded number. Security, stability. Combination of that 4 and 1 this year, absolutely. As I said, put a 1 and 4 on the debate team, you're going to win hands down. Anything to do with business, Mike, go after it. Especially, I like that 4 because it talks about business, it talks about the home. Put them together, guess what? Home-based business or your own self-employment. You have the numbers to be able to bring people to you. That's that 5. That's that PR number. And you also have the ability to run a business. In the month of May, you're going to be looking at what's working for me, what's not working for me. What do I want to let go? And this can be people, places, and things. You will come to some decisions by the end of May. And starting in June, it's going to be all systems go, whatever that great idea is. And trust those great ideas that come to you this year, because that's what the 4 does. Drops those in your head. Trust your gut feelings. June is a time to say, this is going to work for me. Between your life path of 1 and June's vibration of 1, what do you want to accomplish? Go after it. Because it's just a wonderful number. I like those 1s. Now, not everybody does. I do like the 1s because it says independence, innovation, invention, being the supervisor, getting what you want. So that's June for you. But you're going to have to go through just a little bit of thinking here for the month of May, deciding what's working, what you need to keep for your best interest. Where do you want it to go? And listen to those great ideas within your mind. Number 9 is also the number of old wisdom. This is when they start dropping in our head, little at a time. You might be out there working on the car. You might be going for a walk. You might be just sitting in the living room and an idea pops to you. Write it down if you don't know if it's from the divine or whether you're trying to make it up in your mind. But it doesn't matter even if you thought you're making it up. Write them down and watch it unfold.
Oh, that's really interesting. That's great. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
It's a time of change. You hit the nail on the head there.
It is, and it is going to be that.
We have a record company going, like some friends of mine, and there's challenges that pop up, little differences between us, but it's we've been at it for a couple of years now, a couple more, but you're right, and I did everything to do with my family, and that's why I want everything to go, like just so my family's taken care of. And
absolutely, and that's that
forward. You got to take a lot of risks.
Security.
It's really risky when you're trying to get your own thing going on.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You do have a life path that is the risk taker, but when you get into that 4-year, you start questioning yourself and saying, oh gosh, should we do this? Should we not? Because the 4 doesn't like to take risks. But
that's kind of going on today.
But that's just for 2012. It'll go away next year. You'll start trusting yourself again.
Thank you for calling,
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Cheryl.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheryl, we got a question in the chat room. Where are you based out of?
I am in Virginia, actually. I run between Virginia and Tennessee, and right now I am in the southern Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia.
Beautiful spot. And if someone wanted to get a reading from you, how would they be able to contact you?
My website is www.Cheryl, and then put a little hyphen mark in, Patton.blogspot.com. And you can find there's going to be a link over there on the right-hand side. Every day I do the numbers, and so that's what's usually on the home page. And then on the right-hand side there is a link that leads to the readings or coaching, whatever anybody wants, or the events, so they can find out all about me and what I do.
Wonderful, wonderful. And if you're out there in the chat room and you want to get an extended reading from Cheryl, please go to the website. I'll post it. We'll post it on our page. We'll post a link. And contact Cheryl, and let's see what she has for you.
Now, Cheryl, you have something actually coming up this weekend. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
I do. It starts tomorrow, and I still have right up until the time that we go. I can still take students because we can take up to 200 of them in class. But it's called Numerology for Tarot Readers. The only thing you need is to bring your favorite deck of cards, a deck of tarot cards, actually. And I teach people how to read numerology and tarot together. It's going to be from 12:30 to 4 Eastern Time, both on Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to actually cover the whole deck. It's going to be 7 hours. It's a little bit of a long workshop, but at the same time, by the time you're done, you're going to be able to weave those numerology numbers in with your tarot readings. And so it's this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday. And again, they can find that under the events link on my website. Or for some people, it's even easier just to personal message me through Facebook. Anybody who just pops over, it's Cheryl Patton over there on Facebook, and just send me a message. We'll get you into class.
Great.
And just to let everybody know, Cheryl was so gracious enough to extend one of our lucky listeners and fans of our radio show a free seat at this class this weekend, which we will announce later on. So that lucky listener is going to know who it is later on after the readings. And let's get to the callers again. We have Patty from Delaware. Hello, you're on the air with Cheryl. Please give Cheryl your date of birth.
Hi, Cheryl. It's 3/6/19.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, and it's 3/6/1964.
Oh, another 1964. There we go. Born on a 6th day. 9 attitude. 3, 6, and 9 are the creative numbers of numerology. Let me go ahead and add this up real fast. And another 11 life path number. So again, we have that person who's looking, but yours is going to be a little different. I love your combination because not only are you going to uplift other people, motivate other people, sharing of your wisdom, because you've got that 9 in there. You've got the 6 in there. You have a very nurturing heart that not only wants to help other people, but to heal their pain. What is their pain? What can I do? So, fantastic combination. For 2012, I am looking at a 5 personal year. Again, you're a person that vibrates with the earth that much more. With that 6, 9, and 11 combination coming in with your ability to know the changes of the earth, this makes you should be reading for me. A very interesting combination. You're also in a 1 personal month, in a 5 personal year. What do you want to change? What is it about your life that you're wanting to change? Because this is a combination that says you're going to go after what you want. May's going to pull that out in you. It's just going to make you feel that much more, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do it now. And that's what the 1 and the 5 combination do. Next month in June, again, high intuition. With your numbers, very high intuition. Trust your gut feelings. Trust those dreams and those visions that come to you. And also spoil yourself. You've got the 6 and the 9 that tells me that you have the ability to take care of other people. And sometimes you're the last person you may take care of. But next month in June, place yourself first. Even though you're an 11 life path, do think of yourself as a person that needs to be taken care of. And do something for you. Spoil yourself. Just know it could be a little bit of a tug of pull. You'll want to help this person, but then there's you. And there's this person, but then there's you. And so it is a time that it is okay to nurture you. So give yourself a balance. And interesting months. You've got a couple of interesting months. What I do like about yours is because I know you're in a 1 now, you're going to have some lighthearted months. And it's going to be May, June, July. Not ignoring you, I'm just adding up here real fast. 4, 5, through October. Much more lighthearted months. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy you. Enjoy other things. Because starting in November are going to be the heavier months. That's not bad. It just means it's more looking within.
Okay, you hit it right on the nose. I had my partner pass away last year, and I really need to make some changes. I need to, like you said, I take care of everybody else. I need to start taking care of myself.
A little steps at a time, just a little step every day. Doesn't have to be major. I know what it's like to lose. And you just have to take little steps at a time. And, I'm going to pass this on because it's something that I learned when I lost my husband. And that is, I always tell people that it is hypothetical, but you'll understand it. If putting blue clocks all over your wall makes you feel better, makes you a better person, and helps you heal, by golly, put blue clocks all over your wall. Now, of course, that's, like I said, hypothetical. But as long as you are not harming yourself, do what you need to do. For me, it was eating pie in the bathtub while watching a movie. In other words, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. And I think I did that because, number one, where I was raised, that would have never happened. And I wanted to do something that was so totally different than anything I was raised at. In a time where everything had been taken away from me, I thought, by golly, I'm the boss of the house now, and I'm going to eat pie while soaking in the tub and watching a movie. And I couldn't think of anything that would be more exhilarating. And it was But it was my baby step. It was my baby step.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Patty.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling, darling.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good luck to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. I like that advice that you gave, Cheryl. Little baby steps.
Yes.
I think being in that situation when a loved one has passed, you don't think of those little details as far as the everyday aspect of getting through life after that happens. You think, oh my God, what's going to happen in 5 years and in 10 years? And you start thinking of your life way ahead of you, and you're just not thinking about the moment right now. And I think that's something that people should sort of tune in to and really take control of. And I love that advice that you gave.
Well, and when we do lose somebody, we don't realize until that person is gone how much of our life we've incorporated into that relationship. And little things, just as even going grocery shopping and saying, what do I want to buy? It becomes a major thing. And so, yes, baby steps. And there's nothing wrong with them because, within a few months, we've taken a lot of steps. We don't have to make major steps. And that goes for, just about everything in our life, whether it's business, going after a relationship, even just changing our own house. Little things every day can add up to big things over time.
They can, but sometimes that first step is so hard to take.
Yes. Yes. And that's when I say do it for you, whatever that is. For me, it was pie in the bathtub. It's silly, but it made me feel good. It made me want to then do something that that needed to be done. So even if the baby step doesn't make any sense to anybody else and you're not harming yourself, go for it.
Well, I'm trying to listen to you. I mean, I know it's time to start thinking about myself. I've always thought of everybody else.
It is. And, a lot of it in your generation is my generation, and we were taught, as I said, by those 1920s ladies, or in my case, after my parents were gone, I was raised by my grandparents, 1800s. And that was the way you were taught. And that's what we knew. But the world changed, didn't it? It suddenly changed, and it's not always like that. So it's hard. It's not always easy to get out of that.
Well, on a lighter note, you've written a few books, and I think the newest one you wrote was Creating the Perfect House Vibration, Utilizing the Art of Numerology, right? Is that your newest one?
That was the first one, and that is, I'm looking at my house, and I'm thinking I'm in a such and such house. What we do is we take the number of your address, not the road, not the street, just the numbers, and we find out what is that house vibrating with, what is it bringing to you. We find out your life path, what do you want to accomplish, and if you're not having a good time in that home, how can we change it? How can we change just one room? How can we change your home office to bring in more sales? Lots of fun when we play with that, and how we can change it so that it is your castle or some place you want to come home to. Maybe we can't all just say, okay, I'm in a 7 house, I need to move. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So how can we change to do that? But that was my very first one. I had a great time with that one.
Now, I've got a paranormal question for you. I'm sorry, Lucy, to cut in, but I have some sort of paranormal question for you. I'm not sure if you can answer it, but I'm going to throw it out there.
Okay.
Lucy and I and a lot of our listeners are paranormal investigators, and we go to locations. Now, to tie in what you were just saying, does the number of the address of the location that we go to, does it affect the spirits that are actually there as well?
Well, that'd be a good question, wouldn't it? That would be fun to find out. I know it definitely is going to affect those of us who are here that are still in the body. But my gut feeling is that no, that when we pass over, when we are on the other side, we've got a whole new set of rules. And as we know, even with time, there's, time is not relative to them. We all get those messages that say, yes, it's soon. Well, 200 years to them is soon. So when it comes to that vibration, it's going to be a little different. But I will tell you that the other side works with numbers to get our attention. If you think about it, when it comes to electronics, isn't that one of the mediums through which they get a hold of us, where they get our attention? It vibrates with a higher vibration than my book, than my pen, than my desk. And so therefore, yes, numbers are a higher vibration than our spoken word. So that's what they use. And many times we find this with even what people call like angel numbers. How many times have you woke up and it's 9:13? Next day you wake up, it's 9:13. The next day you wake up, it's 9:13. Let's find out what 9:13 adds up to. Let's find out if there's a message within that. I think if you woke up and there was just this little message on your desk or that said, you need to do this, or you need to call your mom. You need to call your mom. You need to call your mom. We'll kind of put that aside. But what if you kept getting a number every day on your desk and find out that it is about communication with family? They use numbers quite extensively to get our attention.
So using the numbers of the house, in August we're going to go to the Valeska house in Iowa. And the address there is, I just had it, it is 508 East 2nd Street. Now, there's supposed to be a lot of paranormal activity inside this building. Could the address of that building have any effect on the living that go there as opposed to the spirits?
The only thing is 508 breaks down to a 4. When I back it up 1, it's a 1 and a 3. I'm not looking at anything that's going to just really pop out at me. However, the only thing I'm going to bring out, so I'm not seeing where there's going to be a real correlation between spirit and that number. Living there, this is a home where there's going to be a lot of education. There is one that whoever was in there at one time, they wanted to have a sense of security, stability. It was about, money. Absolutely. I would look at that money, business. It would be interesting to find out if the spirits that were there, was this place ever used as a business? With a number 4 there, could have been real, what am I thinking of? It's that boss that really kept everybody's nose to the grindstone, that sort of thing. But
I believe the story behind because there was a family that lived there, a very really they were a farming family and really religious, and I believe they were murdered. The entire family was murdered over money. I believe that was the story.
I don't see numbers as being, okay, I've got this numbered house, and therefore it's going to draw negative events or drama into it. We don't really look at it that way. But at the same time, as you said, they were probably a farming family. This was that would have been their security. Number 4 is also the number of the home. So you have farmers many times fit into the 1s, the 4s, the 6s. And so it's not unusual that they would have worked their land in order to have a secure home, a secure future. But the numbers don't really say, okay, if you've got this number, you're on this trail. This is what's going to happen to you.
Right.
I would be more interested in finding out what you could about that particular family. Could you find birth dates? Now that would be more weaving together to find out what were these people's destinies, where were they headed, and how they wove together. So often you will find that people who go through a situation like that may have the same type of destiny number, or they may have been very, many times, soulmates. And how we find out a soulmate is that if you can have, within those 8 digits, if you can have 3 or more numbers, not in the same categories, they don't have to be in the same categories, the same, you've got a soulmate connection. I usually go by the rule of 4, and that's not easy to do. But sometimes when you have a family that's gone through a situation like that, for me, I'd want to see if I could find out as much as I could about their numerical blueprints and see how they wove together. Why were they brought together in this? Why were they asked to go through this particular event together?
Right.
That's really
well, that's amazing. I would love to find out. Go ahead, Lucy.
Yeah. No, I mean, that
Absolutely.
is fascinating. I mean, that's something that I think that maybe, we might look into just before we go to see how that fits into the whole situation.
Absolutely. And if you find it, just send them over. I'll figure it up for you.
Okay.
Things like that
great.
really interest me. I'd love to. And if you get names too, if you find out names, that's even a plus. It's like icing on the cake. And then we can find out, how did those numbers weave together? How did this family interlock? And what was their destinies?
That's awesome. I think that's something that we definitely want to do. Because every time we go to a location, of course, we do the research, but we also like to look at all aspects, not just going to a place and it's got activity and we're just going to go find the activity. We like to delve into the background and what adds up to what happened there. So
yes,
this
and
is
why
perfect.
did they say? Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
All right, I think we have one last. I think we have one last caller. This is area code 409. Hello, you're on the air with Cheryl, Anthony, and Lucy. Please give Cheryl your birthday.
Hi, this is Mary. I was born June 15th, 1962.
Great.
Hi, Mary.
Born on a 6th day, 3 attitude. Let's see what we have here. And again, creative numbers. 1962, you were also a 3 life path. I don't think we've had any 3 life paths this evening. So the 3 is about communication, but it's also about playfulness. We get our salespeople out of 3s. But also with 3, I'm looking at 633, very creative, absolutely. And when it comes to 2012, this is an 8 personal year for you. And it's a little bit more of a social year than it was for 2011, which was a 7 for you. But it's also, again, we're looking at finances. We're looking at what we would like to do a little bit differently, or we're looking at health, or we're even looking at ourselves and saying, I want a new look. And when I look at May, we have a 4 personal month. It is a little bit more about business this month, but the 4 says, maybe I'd like to pursue something. And it might be, if you are a very creative person, if there's something you enjoy doing with your hands, if there's something you enjoy making, if anything to do with music, artistry, photography, I'm thinking sculpturing, anything to do in the arts, acting, writing, the 4 says, maybe I'd like to delve into what I enjoy a little bit more. So when I see the 4 come around, sometimes we go back to classes. And when I say class, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to go to a university. Sometimes it's just running down to Barnes & Noble and picking out the books you like, or getting on the web and surfing and saying, where do I want to find my information? What do I, printing out what we would like to know. So I always forget that sometimes it's right there in front of our face on our desk. June says number 5, and it is about having, you got that 3, You've got the 3 life paths. The 5 is just going to egg it on. Whatever you enjoy when it comes to movement and travel, the 5 says, "Oh yeah, let's go. 3 says, "Let's go down to go shop. Let's go shopping," and the 5 says, "You bet. Let's go spend all those numbers. We got too many numbers in the checkbook. We got to get them out of there." And and so, but it's going to be tempered by that 8 personal year. They'll say, "Okay, let's do a little bit of balance here," and the 5 says, "No, I don't want to balance." So June, have a good time. Get out there. And if day trips, even anything to do with travel, it could be just even a day trip. It's about getting out and enjoying yourself. 5 also says spontaneity. Come as you are parties, barbecues, anything to do with just making a cup of coffee and sitting on the porch and just yelling at somebody to come on over and have a cup of coffee. That's what those 5s are good for. And so the combination 3 and 5 for June. Have a good time with it. Don't always look at it as, it doesn't, the 3s enjoy having, if you're going to have a party, bring the 3s and the 5s, because 3s are going to tell you their stories. They're going to keep everybody laughing with their stories. The 5s are also, they have a great time. You can't go wrong with a 3 and a 5 at a party. even if it's just a coffee, just a coffee hour in the morning with the neighbors. So you've got a lot of good numbers around you for May and June. You just be sure, don't get bogged down with it this month, because it does tend to see, let's not be doing that. Let's go a little bit slower. But absolutely. What do you enjoy doing?
Sounds
Pardon
so
me?
good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You all have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Take care now.
Bye.
Okay, Cheryl, we have one last caller. This is area code 919. Hello, you are on the air with Cheryl, Anthony, and Lucy.
Hi, this is Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, I'm a former student of Cheryl's. I took her numerology class, and it's just been wonderful. I'm a reader, so I've enjoyed working with it. And I have your book on Kindle, the house numbers, and I've really been fascinated with that. And I wondered if you could help me. We live in my mother's old house, which was 806. Which was a 5, and that was the perfect vibration for her because she never liked to be at home. She traveled. But my husband and I are 8, so I was thinking about putting a 6 on the inside, being that I read tarot, and, I thought that would make it a 2, 11-2, but I didn't know if you would think of a better number, if that was a good number.
Okay, it's 806, correct?
Yes.
Okay, 806, as you said, it comes up to a 5. And so that one is, when you have a 5 house, it's great for a frat house, the sorority house. We're going to come, we're going to go. It's everybody's keeping, it can be very busy. And you were reading tarot, so what we want to do, you both are 8s. Now, an 8 and a 5 combination, those are neutral to each other. But when it comes to relationships, I wouldn't necessarily put an 8 life path with a 5, but I would for business. But it can still be a little bit too busy. So I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions. You were thinking about putting a 6 on the inside of the door?
Yes. I was wondering how that would work.
You can. What it's going to come down to is if you put a 6 on the inside of the door, and for Anthony and Lucy, what we do is we take the address. Hers breaks down to a 5. On the inside of your front door, you can put a Post-it note. You can put, for me, I just wrote it in pencil because I know I can erase it. You put another number. So it's the address plus the number you put on the inside of the front door equals, and that's how they add up. So if we have the address of 5. If she puts a 6 on the inside of her front door, 5 plus 6 equals 11. We're not going to break that down. We're actually going to leave that, even though I am looking at that too, just for compatibility reasons. It's going to bring lessons to you. It's going to be, it can be very intuitive. But what I'm looking at for that 2, because 2 is not a great investor of money. In other words, it tells me, and I know a lot of people might think, well, now wait a minute, but if it is your business, we do have to pay our bills. And the 2 says, I'm not really interested in having money come in. So let's play with that a little bit. If you like the vibration of the 2, which is very natural for the 2 of you, just as a home, go ahead and do that. Then, do you have a home office room, or a room in there where you would be seeing people?
Well, yes, and that's actually the inside of my front door. I've converted that living room into, I do Reiki and I do tarot. So It would actually be where I would be putting that 6. So that's why I was kind of concerned, because it's not only the house, but it's my business. I have another door that, that people could come in. But
do you have your office as far as your computer, or where you do your sales, where you pay your bills, in that front office, in that front room?
Yes, I do.
Okay, on your desk, just take a Post-it note, or you can even go down to like Michael's or any of those hobby shops. You can get as fancy as you want with a wooden number and decorate it, or you can just write it on a Post-it note. And I would put the number 8 on your desk, and therefore it turns that area into bringing in sales. The number 8 says, yes, I'll work hard for my money, but I'll have investments at the end of the day. The reason I'm concerned about the 2, I love the 2, that 11/2, is because it is about love, peacefulness, harmony. But the 2 says, please, let me just work for free. Well, the bills don't always get paid when we're working for free. I mean, it's not that we don't do things out of the goodness of our hearts, and that's okay. That's always fun for us, too. But where you're going to pay your bills, just put the number 8. And here's a little tip for anybody who's listening. You want money to keep coming to you. You want to have money in that wallet. Just grab a little piece of scrap of paper. Doesn't have to be any particular size. And just make the number 8 on it, fold it up, and keep it in your wallet. 8 says, I'm bringing you sales. I'm bringing money in. Now, a lot of people use the number 9. I will say that as well. But the number 9 is also the philanthropist. So guess what? As soon as the money comes in the front door, it goes right out the back. So if you put 9, yes, it's a number that draws money easily, but you're easily going to let it go. So I like the number 8 that says, at the end of the day, I still pay my bills easily, and there's always more to come, and there's more to invest.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl.
That's a little thing. But, Maggie, go ahead. You can go ahead and change the vibration of your whole home, because that's what the front door is going to do. It's going to change the vibration of your entire house. But if you're just placing it in one room or on your desk, you're just changing the vibration of that location.
Oh, that would be great. Now, I was thinking about that wooden number and decoupaging it, and I think that would make it look really pretty on the desk.
Yeah. So I say you need to be as simple or as elegant as you'd like. And the fun part about putting numbers on the back of the door in either pencil or something that is not permanent, because some people will even put it on in nail polish, clear nail polish, so no one can see it, is that you can change it at will to whatever you want to bring into that house. If there's a goal that you're after, you can use the numbers to bring in a particular goal. Then when that goal is accomplished, you can take that number off. Change it back to whatever you'd like.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much for taking.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I'm doing your the book on I have it on my Kindle. The book on house vibration numbers. That's been really a lot of fun to look at.
It was, and it was fun to write too, because not too many people get into that, but it is. We can actually change the vibrations of our houses if they're not bringing us what we want.
Well, thanks so much, and you have a great evening.
You too. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Thanks, Maggie. So, Cheryl, going back to what you just said, so if I draw the number 8 all over my hands, will money come to these hands?
Now here's the kicker. More is not better. In other words, if you go in your house and you say, okay, if 1 8's good, 3 8s are even better. So I'm going to put 3 8s on the inside of my door. Guess what? You have to add all those up. And 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. And guess who is the next non-saver of numerology? The number 6. So no. 1 8.
Okay.
So you have to add them all up. So it doesn't work that way. But 1 8 will do the trick. So some people say, okay, I've got to go to a certain situation. Just as you pointed out, you can go ahead and just put that 8 in your pocket and carry it on you. But for most people, just putting it in their wallet, leave it there, and forgetting about it, and just let it do its magic and bring it to you.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Yes, just little. Doesn't have to be fancy.
Okay. Well, Cheryl, this has been so much fun. But before we end, we would like to announce the winner of the workshop, and this is the winner of Cheryl Patton's International Online Workshop. It's Numerology for Tarot Readers, and our winner is Elizabeth Lesher of Maple Heights, Ohio. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Cheryl, we'll be emailing her information to you, right after the show.
Great.
And congratulations, Elizabeth. I mean, it sounds like an absolutely amazing workshop. It really does.
It's fun.
Congratulations,
it really is a lot
Elizabeth.
Of fun.
And tell our listeners again where they can go to sign up, because there is still time. It is tomorrow and Sunday, but there is still time to sign up for that class. So, Cheryl, tell everybody where they can go for that. Just go to
www.Cheryl, and it's spelled CHERYL, then put a hyphen mark in there, Patton, PATTON, .blogspot.com, and then just look over on the right-hand side. There is a link. There's one of my pages is called Events and Links. If you hit on the Events link, it'll be the very first event, and there's the PayPal button, the registration, all right there, so it's very easy to find. And you just pop in. I will be sitting on my email so I can get everybody. This because a lot of folks don't know until the last minute if they can join. And so we'll get them into class, and it starts at 12:30 Eastern Time, or that's 5:30 UK time.
Oh, that's
wonderful.
Great. That's so great. And everybody who's listening, if you loved Cheryl and you loved hearing everything that she spoke about tonight and you loved your reading, you can always hear her on blogtalkradio.com. And, Cheryl, give them the name of your show and when your schedule is.
On Blog Talk Radio, I'm on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and I always say 9 p.m. UK time because I have a lot of folks that call in from there. And we are on, as I said, every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's under One Woman's Wisdom, and one is a numerical 1. It's not an O-N-E. It's number 1, Woman's Wisdom.
That's great. And thank you so much, Cheryl. This was so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did and our listeners did, and we will definitely be contacting you again before we go out on any paranormal ghost hunt, and we'll be tuning into your show again weekly. So thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Cheryl, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cheryl. Take care now.
You too. Good night.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay.
That was
You there,
fun.
Lucy?
Yes, I am.
That was fun. That was fun. That was really fun.
That was great. That was absolutely great. So,
and I think she was actually spot on with your ADD, and I'm going to still say it's ADD.
It's not ADD. I'm just a deep thinker.
Okay. Call it what you want.
Okay, so what's next, Anthony?
All right, so here is where we promote and highlight fellow paranormal investigators from around the world. We've already mentioned groups from the West Coast, the East Coast, and from Canada. So why hasn't your group been mentioned on our show? What are you waiting for? Just send us an email at paranormalreviewradio@yahoo.com with my promo in the subject line. Be sure to include your group's name, all the names of your members, and any interesting facts about your group or any of your investigations. We'd love to give back to the paranormal community, and we hope that this helps give your group and your mission out into the public so that everyone can notice. So tonight we don't have groups to discuss tonight. We actually have other things. Tonight we have a paranormal online weekly show and a cool new paranormal social site. So the first one comes from Bobby Brooks. Bobby is a fan of Paranormal Review Radio. She's actually in our chat room right now, and she was one of the callers tonight. She has her own weekly video show online, and I have to say it is amazing. I'm actually addicted to it now. The show is called Voices from Beyond, which can be seen every Friday night live at 7 p.m. I'm not sure if that's Central Standard or Eastern Standard Time, but they do archive their shows, and they can be seen any time of the day or week. Voices from Beyond goes on paranormal investigations, interviews the owners of the location, and share their experiences live each week. That's so great. Or as much as they can every Friday. Lucy, I actually went on their site, and I caught a couple of their episodes, and they're really, really good. Everyone should go and check them out. They can be seen on riverbender.com. That's riverbender.com, and just type in Voices from Beyond in the search field. Or just friend Bobby Brooks, Bobby with an I, on Facebook, and you can get more info on the show.
Excellent, excellent. And I just asked Bobby to post that link in the chat room. And Bobby, if you can, post it on our page, on the Paranormal Review page, so that everybody can get to it. Okay? So finally, we have something from James Toon. Now, he's created a new social networking site for fellow paranormal investigators and enthusiasts. This website is called paraprofile.com. Now, it's a place where anyone who's interested in the paranormal can go and share their stories, experiences, and evidence like videos, pictures, and EVPs to get fellow para-friends' opinions and advice. Everybody needs to go check this out. It's paraprofile.com, and you can mention our name while you're in there. Just a little shameless plug. Okay. Well, Anthony, do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Why don't we get to announcing who the Paranormal Review Radio Fan of the Week is?
Okay. Our Paranormal Review Radio Fan of the Week is another one of our friends. She is a listener, and she's always posting, and she's just absolutely awesome. And we would like to congratulate Terry Bovin as our Paranormal Review Radio Fan of the Week. Yay! Congratulations, Terry.
And just a little note on Terry, I like to I want to try and sort of bring in little fun facts about our Fan of the Week. And Terry actually loves Westerns, and her favorite is John Wayne. Wink, wink. So congratulations, Terry.
Congratulations, Terry. Okay, well, I guess that's it. What a wonderful show this has been. I have learned absolutely so much tonight. I know I'm going to think about numbers much differently now. We hope that all of you out there enjoyed the show. We'd like to thank Cheryl Patton again for joining us, for doing the readings, and for providing such an awesome prize for our first giveaway. Congratulations again to our winner, Elizabeth Lesher. Don't forget to check out Cheryl's show on Blog Talk Radio. It's One Woman's Wisdom, and that's 1, the number 1. Look for the link on our Facebook show page. Anthony, thank you again for helping to make this show so awesome. Thank you to all of you, our listeners. You know, we do this show for you. We appreciate your support so, so much. If you like the show, spread the word. Don't be shy. Now, next week, we're going to revisit one of our favorite subjects, okay? Make sure you have the lights turned down and maybe even a friend to listen to the show with, because it's going to get a little scary, but we know you really like that. We're going to talk to Mr. David Weatherly. He is a paranormal investigator, writer, cryptozoologist, UFOologist, and adventurer at large. He has written a book called, are you ready? Black-Eyed Children. Yes, those little critters are back, and we're going to discuss them. You won't want to miss this show. So, on that note, have a paranormal week, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Paranormal Review Radio.